just going to invite Tina to introduce. Oh, wait a minute. Madison's not ready. Oh, you're going? Okay. Here's Tina.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm connected through the church here by the Wednesday night meditation group and through my husband, Shooter Fisk. Last fall, the First Parish Jazz Band went up to Lowell, which is Peter Fisk and Michael Palladini and Francis Brigg. Through a connection, went up to Lowell to help out and volunteer playing music at the Acton Community Center's fundraiser in Lowell. So I tagged along to help out Peter with his drums, and it was an amazing, infectious event. And there I met Gordon, who was the Executive Director of the Acton Community Center of Lowell. And between one thing and another, I started talking with one of his board members, Susan Curry, and I ended up helping out with some grant writing, which I have been doing for the past year. So I thought, oh, how nice. Jeff was having his last breakfast. I thought I would invite Gordon to come and share his experience with the African Community Center that he started, and maybe you all would get a little bit interested and like to learn more about it. So.
Oh. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning. First off, I would like to say thank you so much for inviting me to come here this morning to fellowship with you and have coffee and have discussions about the work that I do. In October 29th of 2016, we had a ribbon cutting to begin the work of the African Community Center of Lowell, ACCL. And the purpose of having the ribbon cutting was just to have the presence of the Africans that have come from various countries to have a place that they could call it home, a place that they could come and meet and discuss and see how they can contribute with the talents and the energy that they have brought with them. And so that day began the work of the African Community Center. We simply help Africans that have come from the various continents. As you know, Africa is a continent. So it doesn't matter which country you come from, either from the north, the south, the east, and the west. And we want the Africans, the refugees and immigrants, to see a reflection in themselves when they come to the center. And why is that, you may ask? Because in 1986, I left my hometown, Ghana, and I went to a country called Liberia. So I was there in 1989 when the Civil War started. And I saw it firsthand how that country has been broken due to the Civil War. That Civil War displaced almost about 250,000 people, innocent men, women, children, suffered, have to leave their homes, have to leave their families, have to leave their properties, have to leave their community. to a place that they have no idea. And so with me, I have seen that and I have lived it. And so having the presence of the community center to help Africans that are running away from civil unrest to come to a place where they can be connected, a place where they can be encouraged, a place where they can be inspired to pursue their dreams is what the center is there to do. And so for the past 7 to 8 years, we have been existing at the city of Lowell, by reaching out to the immigrants and the refugees that have come to the city of Lowell to let them know that the center exists. But the work of the center is so hard sometimes because the resources that we have, the need of the community is so huge that the resources that we have cannot meet the challenge of what distress family come through our doors. And so we reach out to the community to ask for help. The help can be in kind, like Tina is doing right now with us, that the band did during our 7th anniversary. During our 7th anniversary, it was a difficult time of the African Community Center, whereas we were looking for opportunities, volunteers to volunteer their time to come and help with that fundraising effort. And we were very fortunate, we were very blessed to have the band that gave their time free of charge to come and play for us. And with that has begun a connections of knowing lots of people from the community. The work of the center has taken me wide and far. I have been to the Capitol building. I have been to higher institutions like Harvard, which I will tell you a little bit about it in a few. And so the African Community Center is just there to encourage and also educate the community members that live, that do not know the dreams and the energy that people have come from the continent of Africa. And so we do a lot of advocacy. We do a lot of registering children to the school. We have families that have come so distressed, they don't have places to go, and even to places to go to have comfort, places to go to connect with one another is an issue. And so once they come to the center, we are able to assess where you come from, which people in your community from your country are already here that we can connect you with. And so we do a lot of that network and also providing help in that area. And so the task is, how do we grow from here? It's been 8 years. And I am currently the only employee at the moment. And just imagine a continent of Africa. And we are almost about maybe 10 to 12,000 Africans living in the greater Lowell area. One staff.
Good.
But the energy that comes from the volunteers continue to help us stay alive, continue to keep us alive, continue to thrive, continue to engage, because we know the importance of the presence of the center. The center is not like a place where you go and buy a food and eat and get a satisfaction right there. But the impact that we create in the center comes slowly and is deep and it goes endless. I'm going to give you one example. We have a young African who came from Congo with a very limited English. She spoke French and other dialects. So she came to the center, I believe it was somewhere 2018. And I did not speak French at the time. And so she came with someone that could speak a little bit of English to translate for her. And I asked her, what is your dream of coming to America? And this young lady told me that she just completed high school, but she wants to become a pediatrician. And I said to her, you are blessed to be in a country where every dream that you have, regardless, only if you are determined to work hard, that dream can be possible. Today, this young girl is pursuing her RN towards that goal. Just because of the fact that she was able to come to the center at the right time, to meet the right person, to connect her to the right resources, that dream is slowly coming to fruition. And that is just one piece of what we have done for the past 8 years. I came to Lowell for almost about 30 years ago. With my wife, we have our 3 boys all in the city of Lowell. They were all baptized in the city of Lowell. They started their day nursery, K1 to K12, to college. My oldest one went to Framingham State. He graduated 70 years ago from Framingham State College. My middle son went to WPI in Worcester, whom he graduated 5 years ago. And my youngest son is now a 3rd year in college at Berklee School of Music in Boston. Applaud will do, applaud will do. It did not come easy because, as you all know, it takes the parents and the teachers and the community to mold a child. And I'm very humbled to say that my kids, through the help of my wife and the community that we have built around us, has molded a fine gentleman for the next generation. Applaud will do. But the reason why I'm saying this is that there are a lot of other families that have come from the African countries, those that are running away from the civil war and oppressions, that have been in this greater Lowell area that do not speak English. And so let us now imagine a parent of a child from this country received a letter from a school in English asking them to have their child to wear red and blue on Wednesday. Many of these children go to school and they find themselves as the only kids in the classroom not wearing the red and the white that they told them to wear. It's because mom and dad could not read and follow the direction. Let us imagine once again a notice from the school has been sent to these families that we need a parent of you to come to your child IEP day. The child will go to school, no parents will come because they did not understand what was sent to them. And so a lot of these kids go through the school process of missing a lot of moral support, of missing a lot of parent-teacher meeting that parents are not there. And so it's the work of the center to let the parents know that we are here to support you. We are here to provide you an advocate. We are here to support you to learn the English. We are here to help you learn the computer skills that you need to better your life. We are here to encourage you to further your education to get the best job. We are here to encourage you to seek the higher paying jobs, to buy a house with a yard. In 2020, a family of the refugee who came from Congo had 9 children. And they were living in 2-bedroom apartment. In 2020, 3 of his children got the COVID. Let us imagine once again, you live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 9 kids, no backyard. You have 3 of the children in the house with COVID in 2020. 2-bedroom apartment, 9 children, 9 family. 3 of them have COVID. No backyard. I have been privileged to live in a very beautiful home in Drake. My backyard is almost about an acre. During the COVID time, I could go outside and sit outside and have a nice natural breeze. Look at the trees, hear the birds sing. But this family were confined to a 2-bedroom, have nowhere to go. And this is where we come in as the center to encourage everybody that don't take no for answer. you can improve yourself regardless, so long as you are determined. And when I came to this country, I was determined. I was highly determined when I left my country. I left my country, my hometown, Winneba. I believe it was somewhere April of 1986. At the time, my mom suddenly passed away. And I felt that out of sight, it is out of mind. And so my call was to just leave and forget about the death of my mom. Little did I know that the statement out of sight is out of mind is questionable.
Yeah.
My mother's death still remains fresh with me today. And so when I was leaving home, I said to myself that one day, somehow, I will go to be in the best institution in the world, either to give education or get education. But I have no idea how is that going to happen. In 2018, I was in my office in Lowell when I saw a group of about 8 contingents coming to the office. And when they came, they asked, they want to see Mr. Gordon Donkoh-Halm, and I said, may I help you? And then they introduced themselves. I'm the head of department from Harvard School of Design. I am this, and they all Harvard professors came looking for me. I had provided them a seat. We sat on the table, and they said, we just had a meeting with the city mayor and the town manager, and everybody said we should come and speak with you. We've heard about you. And so with that began our relationships with the Harvard School of Design, where they invited me for the past 5 years to go to Harvard to be a guest critic. The very first day they invited me as a guest critic was about 30 years ago when I left home with that desire to say that one day, I will be in a higher institution somewhere, either to give education or get education. It took 30 years for that to happen. And so when I went to Harvard as a guest critic, we were invited to give a critic, or in other words, to just give a comment about the project of these graduate students that have presented. And we were about, if I'm not mistaken, about 20 community leaders, professionals, people came from all over the state. And I was one of these guest critics. So when they called me to give my feedback in terms of what the students have presented, when I stood up, it was like a light bulb flashing through my brains. Do you remember? When you were leaving, you said one day you will be in a higher institution, either to get education or give education. And then I started breaking down, and nobody knew why I was crying. An applaud will do, an applaud will do. And so I was able to put myself together and give my comment. And next Tuesday, we have a product of the Harvard School of Design students. There were 10 of them, came to spend 3 months with me and our community at the office. And we have provided a resource guide that is going to help immigrants and refugees that have come to the greater Lowell area. Through our partners, through the support of the community, we are printing 2,000 copies, which is still in production. And on next Tuesday, we will have a book launch.
Yeah.
Applaud will do, applaud will do. And so, that is a gist of the story from the African Community Center that I would like to present it to you today. Thank you. And now I will be very humbled and happy to answer any questions that you may have. Okay, Joe. Yes.
So you mentioned one of the women spoke French.
Yes.
So what other kinds of languages are people coming in with?
Oh, yes. So people come in with hundreds and hundreds of, dialects from the African countries, depending on where you come from. Nigeria alone have about more than maybe 250 different spoken dialects. Oh yes. Ghana, I speak about 5 different dialects now. With the work that I do, I am now able to speak a basic Swahili, which is the common language spoken in the east part of Africa. And in Ghana, I'm from the west part of Africa, so we don't speak Swahili. But just because of the work that I do, I'm just forced to speak it. And today, when I speak Swahili, Africans from East Africa can't even believe that I'm from the West. And it's just because of the interest that I have, in them. And I believe that once you have an interest in anything, you are most likely to make it happen. And so right now I speak basic Swahili. When they come to the office, I'm able to strike a conversation with them, and which always baffle their minds. And it's just the power of interest that I have. Yeah. Thanks. Yes.
If some of these new immigrants need health care, how do they get it?
Yes. So when the immigrants come to the community, we have a community health center. That is their first point of contact. And so they go there for their health assessment. And so when they go to the community health center, and then they will help them to apply for the mass health, the insurance, and also get a primary doctor for them.
Well, maybe you can talk a little bit about the technology training that you do.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure. So we, through our partnership with UMass Lowell, we began a computer literacy program for the parents of Africans, because mostly someone like me, I did not grow up in the computer era, and it has become a very challenge to our community, because this day and age, we have to sometimes make your appointments for doctors online. When the COVID came, you have to do a registration online. So everything is pretty much online. You have to buy Amazon online. Everything is online. So I approached UMass Lowell and made a case with them that our community need that technology knowledge. And so we began this partnership where we started computer literacy for Africans. And in October of last year, we had 9 participants to go through the training. At the end of the training, they get it's a 6 weeks training on Saturdays, and they get a certificate in completion and also a brand new laptop after completion of the program. And so far, we have had 40 immigrant families that have gone through the computer literacy program. Yeah. This is a very big deal, so another applaud would do. Thank you. Yes.
That young woman who is now trying to become a pediatrician.
Yes.
Now, first she's going to school, or first she's getting her training.
What was it? What was the question again? Yeah.
Where is she going to school?
Yes. So right. So she did. She was in Middlesex Community College, and now she's working from completing of Middlesex Community College. The last time that I met with her was that she's also planning to pursue for her master's in registered nurse. So currently, I don't know where she is now, but she's on the path of being a pediatrician. Mm. And now, if she speaks English, oh my goodness, you have no idea that she even, it's amazing. Her English is, and I was, wow, what a transformation. Yeah. So now she speaks English with no barriers, with no, So they have transformed.
Any other questions? Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you. Thank you.